as its base for doing whatever it does. It's got amazing results, and in this room, myself, Shweta, Samir, Sujal, and Mohsin, we've gone through the whole program so 20 years ago, at least 20 years ago, everyone. And it is a rigorous one, right? And because we've done that, and because he started bringing, we discovered that he uses those principles in coaching. We used him for coaching for half play and a couple of other people. Okay. And that his coaches in half play swear by him. Whenever there's a coach with respondent with a tough problem, we bring him. We don't give him to everybody. We use horses for courses, and that's what he does. I'm not going to talk more about his what he studied and this and that because it's irrelevant. What is irrelevant, and that's the way you will talk, is what he does. Okay? Now I've sold him. I've sold him because I was subject to coaching by him. So I don't talk about coaching. I demonstrate the effect of his coaching. Satya. Right? And since we are creating a coaching product and we want everybody to talk about it. So Vimish is here right now to help you experience, tell us what it's all about and help you experience. Now you're not going to experience coaching in 1 hour or half an hour or whatever time is not going to happen. But I want you to open your eyes at least. Now in ontology we have something called distinctions. Distinctions means another word for distinction is, let's say, an idea. A distinction is an idea. Loosely put, okay? It's a very inadequate way of describing it, but loosely put, a distinction is an idea. Okay? Suppose we say distinction wealth, which means what is the idea of wealth? What does wealth mean to you? Loosely, that's what a distinction is, okay? So between the three of us, we arrived at 10 distinctions. And we are creating a coaching program. We'll say this is the package. It will cost so much. And you will have, after every period, we decide the period. Today, suppose I talk to you on boss, distinction boss. Right? And you'll be coached on that. From space of ontology and stuff like that, how it will make it work for you. Boss is not a distinction, it's not, no? I'll just give you an example, okay?
The boss decides that.
Huh?
The boss decides that.
What, the 10 job people?
Use many, but the boss decides whether that boss is a distinction or not.
Go back. So this is just English try though. So I don't know whether you plan all 10 distinctions or how many distinctions I don't plan. But the process is that to help us experience all that. Now what will happen is if you get the distinction gets you in this, you don't get stuff, it gets you. So this distinction gets you, it starts making a difference in the way you live. It doesn't make a slice at work and so and so thing. No, this is transformational coaching. Understand that. It transforms from a butterfly, from a caterpillar, you become butterfly. Can never become a caterpillar again. Right? That's the end of it. And without any further ado,
okay. Do I look nervous?
No.
पता नहीं चल रहा ना.
Distinction nervous.
Yeah, distinction.
Who's this done in Boston?
हो जाता ना.
Before you start,
Yeah.
I want to share the video. So coaching as a product in our portfolio is growing every year from the business need point of view. Because we see clear-cut rise in the kind of coaching product we would have sold year on year. Now, one more request in terms of all of us being together at any point in time when we meet customers, not just the sales team, but even the execution team, and you're engaging in conversations with customers. The idea is to sniff an opportunity where you see somebody could benefit from our coaching approach, right? So therefore, all of us are here together to understand the whole thing. So it's not that it is only applicable to somebody who is in the sales team and is going to sell. There's a lot of need in the market which we've understood, and why not go all out for it where we have uh, our own team members doing it. So that's the idea of collectively making it a point that all of us actively participate and benefit from this. That's what I wanted to say.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, can I just quickly get the names of everyone so that some of y'all, I don't know the names. So, but I know. Diana, yes.
Kushi.
Kushi. Okay.
Sarah. Sarah.
S-A-R-A.
S-A-R-A-H.
S-A-R-A-H. Okay, sorry.
Parmita.
Perfect.
Smith.
Just Singh.
Just Raj Singh.
Preeti.
Pratik. Okay.
Sabir.
ठीक है, नाम तो सुना ही होगा. All right, great. So, just a bit of background was given by Jayesh. A few things that I spoke. This coaching is unconventional in its nature. It's not informative. It's not about things that you already know. It's about how to go about the knowledge that you have about things. How many of us know that anger is not good?
We all know.
Correct? We know, right? Anger से क्या होता है? What happens with anger? If you have anger or you get angry, what happens?
You are in different
Your environment or
space, your environment around you also becomes very hostile.
Yeah, so first is, yeah,
Hostile environment gets created.
yeah, it becomes stressed, right? The
Stress.
environment becomes stressed.
Yeah.
What happens to your own stress levels? You get stressed, right? What is the impact on the other person? They're also stressed, okay? So the affinity is impacted. The purpose is impacted. Everything is impacted, right? But how to control anger? Or even going deeper, why anger? Why that as an automatic response to a situation? कार का एक्सीडेंट होता है. What is the first thing that happens अपने मुंबई में usually?
People get out of the car and they start dealing.
सबसे पहले एक्सीडेंट होता है ना तो पहले निकलना
गाली देंगे वही गाड़ी छोड़ देंगे.
They start shooting and
नहीं, पहले तो गाड़ी वहीं के वहीं रुकेंगे,
और
है ना?
पूरा ट्रैफिक रोक देंगे.
पूरा ट्रैफिक रोक देंगे, फिर उतर के देखेंगे, गाड़ी देखेंगे, बोलेंगे अबे अक्कल है क्या?
नहीं गाली देते हैं, ये तो कोई
हाँ वो मेरी गलती. देखो ना मीटिंग रिकॉर्ड हो गया है ना. तो एबीसी करके मतलब अबे अक्कल है क्या? गाड़ी चलाना आता है क्या? तेरे को लाइसेंस कौन दिया? इसका नुकसान कौन भरेगा? तेरा बाप भरेगा. Do you think all these things are actually going to help that situation?
No.
No. What is required? The accident has happened. Take the car, park it on the side, take the other person, go, exchange your insurance details, exchange the numbers, and get it done. Or maybe look at, okay, what the fault was, what happened actually. Like an accident happened where someone banged my car from behind. And okay, we got down, I said, okay, let's park on the side. And the first thing that I asked him is, are you okay? My car got banged. And I asked him, are you okay? He was not prepared for this. He was prepared, मतलब वो तो तैयार कि अभी वो मैं निकलूंगा और उसको ये बोलेगा तो मैं ये बोलूंगा. Doesn't it, like, aren't our answers or responses automatic? You go back home in the night, you're supposed to reach home at 10 o'clock. You reach at 1 o'clock in the night and you're opening the key. With the key, you're opening the house and your mom is sitting there. Before you open that door, aren't your answers already prepared?
Yeah.
If mom will say this, then you're going to say this. And if this happens, then I'm going to say this, this. And last, mein apna wild card. You don't know how stressed I am. You are checking with me on everything and this and that. You don't trust me. I'm too tired. I'll speak to you about it tomorrow. Don't we do that? This is an automatic life that we live. What this coaching is about is to go to the why of what we are. We were not born like this. How many of you all have issues with confidence?
Excuse me?
Confidence when it comes to speaking in front of unknown people. Okay. Putting your point across. When you want to put your point across to someone. Challenges like this which happen in day-to-day life. We all have that, right? In something or the other. Were you born with this? No. What happened then? Shy, timid, fearful, lack of self-expression. I don't know what people will think about me. FOMO. Wanting to be everywhere. मतलब इधर भी जाना है पर इधर भी नहीं छोड़ना है. And then if we have concerns with making decisions. And after taking decision, we're not sure whether we made the right decision or not. Are you sure I did the right thing? Don't we go through that? So this is a subject called ontology. If you can take a moment and not check your WhatsApps, but actually go on Google right now. Yeah, just pick up the phone. Okay. Or ontology. क्या कर सकते हो ना? स्क्रीन भी कर सकते हैं. ONTOLOGY. Ontology.
Oh my God, what भारी it is.
हाँ, वो भारी है, उसको सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं ना. हाँ, उधर तो लिम्फोसर्कोमा होता है, इंटेस्टाइन लिखा हुआ है. ठीक है ना, हम उसको सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं. The simplistic ontology definition is the branch of philosophy that it studies existence. It's metaphysics.
My God.
Okay. And what does it speak about? It speaks about your way of being. Who are we? We are human beings. Have you heard about bird being?
No.
Insect being, animal being, reptile being, plant being? No. Human beings. Why beings? This is an interactive conversation we are having. You can shoot, there is no right answer.
Why beings? Because human is the only person who is the highest intellectual compared to any other living creature on the planet.
Okay, but there are smart animals, smart birds. If you see an eagle drop, uska bacha from the top,
Smart
it
TV.
just scoops it now.
But I don't know if there are smart as humans.
Maybe. We are not humanizing the birds.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't have intelligence, that's why it's
Okay.
like
They don't have human intelligence.
Yeah, they do have.
They don't have human intelligence, right?
Read the books at Sapiens. Equation on.
Okay, so basically beings, simplifying it, no, we operate moment to moment. And our moods, feelings, emotions, and the way our life shapes up. It is on the basis of it. That's something that happens every moment. So consider it's Sameer's birthday. And he comes here. And we are all planning to surprise him. And he comes in and we get a cake, a nice cake for him. And we keep it and he comes in and he's like, okay, here's a surprise for you. How do you think he will be?
happy.
Happy, no?
Yeah.
Happy, elated, that okay.
Change your tense. How do you think he was? Because all of this happened.
I don't know that. I don't know that. We'll come to the being quickly. Okay. Then he opens the cake and like, why? It was a pineapple cake which he doesn't like.
What's it?
Correct? In a second, how was the way of being? Surprised,
Yeah.
elated, happy, feeling privileged. But the moment you have open and say, hey,
Disappointment.
and then, kya hua? Nahi, all good, all good.
Yeah.
We are master fakers, na? Right? So being shifted in that moment. Why? Because things didn't happen the way we want. And if you understand, you reflect in your own life. Our life is continuously ruled by things, by situations, by people around us. Everything is subjective and compared. How good are you is all compared according to the situations and people around us. Okay? You have just pass me one marker. Any marker. So, Diana, how tall are you? Okay, so you are 5'2", right? So 5'2". So you will call your height as average, correct? In front of a Chinese, Far Eastern, you'll be tall, ना? क्योंकि उधर के तो मतलब इधर के उधर के 5 के होते हैं ना ज्यादातर के एवरेज है ना अच्छा अफ्रीकन को देखते हैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन अफ्रीकन इनको उनका हाइट होता है एवरेज 5'9", 6'1", 6'2", right? So you are 5'2", you are average, right? But in front of the Eastern people, you are tall. In front of the Western people, you are short. So your height is subjective as compared to people around you, isn't it?
Yes.
And then you label yourself that I am short, tall, or average. Actually, what is your height?
5'2".
So you are
5'2".
5'2". But how much are we ruled by tall, short, or average? Can you relate to this?
Yeah.
In each aspect of life, you are comparing yourself with others and wanting to prove unconsciously, sometimes consciously as well. Prove who? Very good. Starting with your own self. First, you want to prove to your own self. Why do you need to prove? Or what do you need? Like, what's the need to prove?
No acceptance for ourselves.
हमको बताना है
Compare करना होता है यार।
Okay.
To accept ourselves because we are not accepting ourselves. The way
Smith,
we
what's your gender?
Me.
Prove it.
कभी नहीं कर सकता.
Smith is our favorite son.
नहीं तू जो भी करेगा ना उसके बाद भी मैं बोलूंगा मैं नहीं मानता हूँ. Prove it.
मत मानो.
मत मानो. Correct? You will say मत मानो. मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है मानो कि नहीं मानो, right? Because तुम्हारे मानने से या नहीं मानने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. मेरा जेंडर जो है वो है.
मैं मेल हूँ.
Correct? What do you need to prove? Something that you don't believe in. Which you doubt yourself. Why? Because lack of confidence, lack of
Self-confidence.
acceptance of who you are, the way you are. Constant comparisons actually rule your life. You feel you are conducting life, but no. There is an internal conversation inside all of us which actually conducts our life. It tells you what you can do and what you cannot. More so, it tells you what you can't do. नहीं ये नहीं कर सकते अगर ये बोलेंगे ना तो इसका ये कॉन्सिक्वेंस होगा ये रेपरकशन होगा गॉट अ गर्लफ्रेंड कितना इजी प्रपोज कर पाया कितना इजीली प्रपोज कर पाया पहले तो आया ना कॉन्वर्सेशंस बोल अरे बोल कितनी बार तो ये तो लकीली प्रपोज करके मिल गया पर कितनी बार तो ऐसा हो कि वो बोलने बोलने में तो कोई आके लेके गया मुझसे को बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है उस चीज का मुझसे ने उसके दोस्त को बोला था यार ऑन माय बिहाफ फैमिली प्रपोज है तो उसने प्रपोज किया उसका शादी हो गया सो ontology actually speaks about who you are actually authentically so there are two selves one is the acquired self what you acquire out of your upbringing your environment the society the expectations that people have from you and a lot of other factors and that is the acquired self and inside your acquired self your natural self somewhere is carpeted you forget only who you are so when you were small when you were as kids how were you
Happy.
from 0 to 5 how were you 6 साल के बाद तुम अकल आई ना then you started recollecting things and you know okay what kind of clothes I was wearing what was my house all of that but before that there was no memory of anything
Unbothered.
not bothered even when a 3-year-old child throws a prank we find it cute don't we वो रोता है तो भी ऐसा लगेगा कितना क्यूट लग रहा है ना वही 8 साल का बच्चा करेगा तो कैसा लगेगा बिगड़ा हुआ है यार माँ बाप ने ध्यान नहीं दिया पैम्पर्ड है ज्यादा ही कुछ you see no you go to restaurants and you see children throwing tantrums you look at the child and you, with more disgust you look at the parents don't we do that yeah because in 0 to 5 there is innocence comparatively there is innocence and after that you start having your conscious mind getting developed and that's where your persona starts getting formed so as children we used to play games and we used to think about hey yeah, you know you play games okay sometimes you're a doctor sometimes you're an astronaut sometimes you are this sometimes you're that
बस कंडक्टर
कुछ भी बनते हो यार you just be anything and when you're getting into your teenage you aspire this is what I want to be and then if you compare yourself now to much an extent you see what you wanted to be and what you ended up being थोड़ा सा अंतर है
बहुत अंतर है।
अंतर है ना what you wanted to be and what you have to be okay rules for guys and girls are different rules for a Gujarati, Marwadi, Marathi, and rule for a Christian or a Muslim is different. Correct? And each belief is shaping up our life. Now, when we go out to coach in corporates, we speak about sales, right? So we chisel and develop an acumen of how to be a smart salesperson, how to be effective at that. But this work is something that is getting done in the background. So the difference between doing and being. This Sujal is my boss, and I come to ask him for a leave. I'll give you in a minute. I'll demonstrate two different scenarios. There is a target which is to be delivered by Tuesday. Today is Saturday, and Tuesday by 4 p.m. I have to deliver. बन सकता है तो मेरा boss भी problem right? And I says, sir, can I take a minute, sir? Actually एक emergency आई है मुझे I'll have to go. मुझे अभी कभी निकलना पड़ेगा सर मुझे मालूम है आपने ट्यूसडे तक बोला हुआ है वो 4 बजे तक पता नहीं कैसे होगा मुझे पर वो अटेंड करना जरूरी है सर मैं रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ प्लीज नाम मत बोलना सर मेरे को जाना है प्लीज वो कैसे होगा मैं कर दूंगा सर कैसे भी कर दूंगा सर मैं जा सकता हूँ
नहीं
दिस इज फर्स्ट सिचुएशन okay now coming to the second situation like this sir I need 2 minutes from you there is an emergency in the family and I need to go for the weekend I know that Tuesday तक इसको complete करना है. So what I've done is I've spoken to Smith and I've spoken to Diana and Shweta is here to support me and I'll be constantly in communication with them and make sure that I keep you updated. And by 2 o'clock it will be done so that we yet have a buffer. I'll try to come back by Tuesday, but in case not, then also this will be done. Sir, can I go? What am I doing in both the things? I'm asking for a leave. Doing is there, no? I'm asking for a leave. What's the difference in both the approaches? The second one is the first one giving assurance? No. Is the second one is?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Can you count on the second one?
Yeah.
Can you count on the first one? No. करेगा नहीं करेगा कोई पता नहीं है. You will start thinking about अरे ये तो जाने मैं बोल भी रहा हूँ कि मैं रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ और मना मत करना. मतलब I'm contradicting what I'm saying. What does the request mean? Either it will be a
Yes or no.
yes or a और मैं बोल रहा हूँ सर रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ मना मत करना. तो एक्चुअली मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ?
Order.
ऑर्डर कर रहा हूँ. उसको चॉइस नहीं दे रहा हूँ मतलब मैं तो जाने वाला हूँ तू नहीं देगा ना तो भी मैं तो लेने वाला हूँ मतलब इज्जत बचानी है तो तू खुद ही सामने से हाँ बोल राइट but then the second one I'm taking responsibility ownership of both the places whatever challenge I'm dealing with plus whatever my commitment here is and I'm assuring that he's convinced and he's settled. So the first one was, what was his way of being? Desperate, anxious.
Also focused on self, isn't it? मुझे चाहिए मेरी छुट्टी.
मुझे चाहिए बस तुम्हारी कंपनी बढ़ रही है वो करना है करो नहीं करना है मतलब मैं अगर होगा तो करूंगा नहीं होगा तो भैया
देख लो
देख लो.
देख लो आप देख लो ठीक है ना तो being someone who's pleading I was pleading ना
Yeah.
गिड़गिड़ा रहा और ये इसने बोला मुझे वो बोले मजाक के टाइम पे उसने वैसे ही बोल दिया कि नहीं छुट्टी मिल सकती है नहीं सर
नहीं seriously.
नहीं सर मैं तो जा रहा हूँ
वापस आएगा.
मैंने आपको चॉइस दिया था आप मेरे को हाँ बोलो आपने नहीं दिया तो गलती किसका आपका है मैं तो जाने वाला हूँ सर
नहीं तो टिकट भी बुक
मेरा तो टिकट मेरी गुड सारा को तामझाम करके आते हैं
एक मिनट आप हिंदी को देखने दो.
मतलब पूरा प्लानिंग करके रखा हुआ है
एक मिनट बैठना दो. हाँ
भले उसने जो बोला पर दिस इज द वे वी एक्चुअली हम लोग पूरा नक्की करके जाते हैं और फिर एक ढोंग करते हैं
मेरे को जाना पड़ेगा.
we try out different things like मोहसिन होगा तो मोहसिन अलग तरीके से ही बोलेगा वो थोड़ा इमोशनल ड्रामा करके बोलेगा वो सर
How well he moves.
एक सिचुएशन है
देखने को तो हंसी है.
yeah
You got it wrong.
So every aspect,
You would be over there and he will call up and say, मैं वहाँ पहुँचा हूँ." मैं आ रहा हूँ।
वो भी इतनी सिंसियरिटी से बोलेगा,
हाँ।
मतलब मॉड्यूलेशन इतना जबरदस्त रहेगा, आपको पता नहीं मेरे साथ क्या हुआ।
नहीं दिल में
सुबह पता चला मैं रात को आप ही चला गया।
See the world of manipulation that we all consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously operate from. और हमको लगता है कि लोगों को पता नहीं चलता. How many times it happens with us only and then we say, ये बोल रहा था मुझे मालूम. We know about it. So our energies, whether it is we as resources, whether it is our time, our efforts, our learnings, whatever it is, we are not exploring it to the potential. Agree? Yeah. In this process, we go to the source of why we behave the way we behave. In organizations and in our personal lives, there is a split personality that operates. This coaching process allows you to mirror and get that side of you that is hidden. So as we are working on the subject or the learnings that we have got, our approach towards it, which plays a major role in the performance, in the delivery, in whatever outcome that we are looking at. And that also with ease and grace. The kind of work that what Jayesh said, what we did with Hafley as well. And they came with a very different problem. And I did not address that problem. मतलब बुखार आया तो what is the first thing that we do? Take a Crocin. The new Crocin is Dolo 650. अभी बेचारे Crocin की इज्जत कम हो गई है. And we take paracetamol and we suppress it. What happens after some time? It comes back. And then we again take a Dolo. But when we go to a homeopath or an Ayurvedic doctor, what he does, he treats it from the root. Okay, आया क्यों? And he gets it resolved from there. This coaching process is about going to the root. It's not about giving information. In fact, this coaching process has got no information. It gives no information. It does two things. It takes away all that is not required, or whatever learning you have, how to put it into practical practice. How many of you know how to swim? You know, right? Can you suggest me a book? How to learn swimming? No. Exactly. How to cycle, how to ride a cycle, or how to swim. There is no book. It's transformative. A moment before, you did not know how to swim. A moment later, you know. And once you know, it's almost permanent. Correct? When was the last time you must have swam? Maybe a couple of years, whatever time. If you are getting onto a holiday or somewhere and you want to get into water, will you be able to swim? Yeah, you will be. Probably you'll take a bit of time to kind of get back to the groove, to get your things, but you know how to swim, right? It's in you now. And that is what transformative learning is, that once it is there in you, then you don't have to manage that. It happens on its own. What Jay said, no distinctions, you don't use distinctions, distinctions use you. That might be a bit of a higher level to get, but simplistically speaking, now, the way your demeanor is, the way you respond to life, to the challenges of life, to the situations of life, it's not you have to think about it. It just happens every moment. Like how I'm standing here and speaking. When I started speaking, I did not know what I was going to speak. Whatever is coming from here, whether he's saying something or someone else is saying something, it's getting dealt with at that stage. It's not coming out of any knowledge or any kind of a book. Let's say, अच्छा इसमें क्या आंसर लिखा हुआ है? I'm not reading now. Okay. इसमें क्या आंसर लिखा हुआ है? Correct? It works. Embedding it right in your subconscious, changing the language in your subconscious. That's what ontology is about. Simple example. How many of y'all remember a hurt? Someone spoke to you in a certain way 65 years ago.
Yeah,
हाँ?
अभी का याद है मेरे को इसने बोला
अभी का तू छोड़ ना 15 साल पहले का बोल तू समथिंग हैपेंड मेरे को मालूम है आई टेल यू 2008 का बात है हम लोग अलीबाग गए थे नहीं अलीबाग गए थे तूने ब्लैक कलर का टी शर्ट पहना था ब्लू कलर की लाइट ब्लू कलर की पैंट्स पहनी थी उसमें एक रेड कलर का दाग भी था मेरे को बराबर याद है और तूने ना तनवीर और श्वेता के सामने में मुझे ये बोला था तू बैठा था श्वेता उधर बैठी थी तेरा आधा बियर का ग्लास तूने पिया हुआ वी आर सो डिस्क्रिप्टिव अबाउट इट
थोड़ा मैं पहले दिन ऑफिस में आया था मैंने बेल बजाई थी
डोंट वी रिमेंबर लाइक दैट एंड व्हेन वी गिव बैक मुझे बराबर याद है कौन कौन था और तूने ये बोला था दीज वर योर वर्ड्स और तूने ये स्प्राइट के साथ बोला था वो इनएक्ट भी करते हैं क्या परसों क्या खाया था याद नहीं है ना पर वो याद है because it's already registered in your subconscious and that's ruling your life too. Every time समीर आएगा तो कौन आएगा 2008 वाला समीर आएगा लाइट ब्लू कलर का ट्राउजर्स जींस भी नहीं
और
उसमें रेड कलर का दाग
आधा बियर का ग्लास भी
आधा बियर का ना ना
वो बियर का ग्लास इम्पोर्टेंट है वो
और-
आधे ही काट में
और कोई आके बोलेगा समीर रियली नाइस वेरी नाइस तो मुझे पूछ ना अभी ऑफिस पे नहीं बात करता हूँ तो शाम को कॉल कर मेरे आई टेल यू संभल के रहना
सबसे कुछ मौसी हो रहा है देखो जरा I'm just thinking.
उसकी बत्ती खुल रही है
दुखते रथ चेहरा ऐसे टिक 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 2008 का तो नहीं लेकिन 2011 का
2011 का याद है तुझे
हाँ सूजन इधर था
मुझे नहीं ये ऑफिस नहीं था
ये था ही नहीं
अरे ये जोक कर
वो क्या था पुराना ऑफिस का नाम
सुमित
सुमित
सुमित बिल्डिंग
सुमित बिल्डिंग
गरम क्यों रही
है ना? वहां का बीच का पार्टीशन खोल के रखा हुआ था आधा बंद था
अब आया हमारे पुराने ऑफिस
ऑफ कोर्स यार
क्या है
कैसे बात कर रही है
ठंडा कर दो
गरम हो रहा
So what are you getting out of whatever I've been speaking or whatever we've been conversing in the last few minutes? What are you getting? Unmute button off कर सकते हो
A lot of things like our coaching process is based on the concept of ontology and it's more about working on the being of humans.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's also about not being prescriptive. Okay, I'm trying to work on something which is big roots and meanings. And that's how we create transformation because it's not like a bandage approach that we do.
Correct.
There are things that I got.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
So this is what you are carrying throughout your life from last so many years.
Yeah.
What happens? Because so whatever happened, it happened in and is past in history.
Yeah.
We are still carrying that, whatever is there.
Got it.
And we are still, so for example, like if you take example of Samir, so I'm still judging Samir with that 15-year-old what happened. There will be a lot of change after that in Samir and me also. But still we are judging with 15 years back.
Yeah.
I think what I get in summary of everything that you spoke so far is that we get distinction through this process. And that's what makes our coaching different from any other coaches or coaching processes available outside.
Right.
And
So there are some distinctions, and these distinctions they do create permanent changes.
Right.
As well. They have the potential to create permanent changes if we want to adopt it in a very positive way.
So
therefore,
one
that's the
more
point.
thing I want to add over here. So whatever happened in past and whatever you are carrying, it might be one of your perception also. Because in that particular situation, you think you were right and he was wrong.
You
Okay,
operate
and
out of.
you. मैं बोलूं? This
Same.
अब I carry this for 15 years कि
Elaborate.
मैं यहाँ बैठा था पत्नी का यहाँ बैठी थी और इसने I'm not saying might be that situation, whatever you are carrying or whatever is there in past, that would be the decision what whoever has taken. But you are carrying or whatever you are carrying, इसने ये बोला था वो बोला था, just because you think that I was right.
Correct.
And you don't know what is the fact behind that, or you have not anticipated that situation or whatever he said or whatever the situation, incident, whatever happened. And that's your perception you are carrying it, और ये गलत था मैं सही था और वो तुम 15 साल carry कर रहे हो.
Lifetime. Some people carry it lifetime. Experiences that you get in your childhood, from your childhood.
You operate out of the narrative, basically, what you're reading.
Yeah, so if there is a situation that happens, what happened? There is a situation that happened. What do? We create a story out of it. We are great story makers. Okay, and it doesn't remain here. We make that a reality. We label people. We label ourselves. Can you resonate with this?
Yes.
We label. We believe it to be a reality. And then we operate like what he said, that maybe at that point of time. Like it was a situation. Something happened. He said something. He behaved in a certain way. It could get over there, right? Let me give you a different example. As you were, when you were toddlers and you started from crawling, you started to walk. Did you fall while walking? Learning how to walk?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You did. Did you bruise your knee?
Yes.
Yeah. Probably trying to run or walk, you must have bruised your knee. Did you cry?
Yeah.
Did you stop walking?
No.
Why? Because you did not carry a story out of it and make it a reality. You did not say, oh, I fell, so means I'm weak, I'm incapable, I'm not confident. I just don't have it in me. Mohsin is smarter than I am.
I need that.
Yeah. We don't have the significance about it. What rules our life?
The story.
The significance is that we, out of which we make the stories. And we label at that as this is like this. He is like this. And not only that, we also color other people's lenses.
सबका
Okay, Sujal said, "Polka nahi hai."
हाँ, finger था.
But he is like that. उसकी smile के पीछे है
नहीं,
ना
नहीं.
शैतान छिपा हुआ है, संभल के रहना.
You got it right.
Right? So this process actually, now look, if you can just take a couple of moments and look at how your life is shaped up out of this. That is not the way you were. You ended up being like that on the basis of all this drama, unconsciously, unknowingly. Right? Two children of the same parents, but completely different. होता है ना? ट्विंस में भी होता है. चल एक में तो कंपैरिजन फिर भी होता है कि कुछ साल के बाद आया, ये तो कुछ मिनट बाद आया होगा, तो फिर भी both are different like chalk and cheese, isn't it? Why? Because everyone formed their own survival pattern. Why? No logical answer to that. Is that in our hands? No. What is in our hands? What is in our hands? Is the past in our hands?
No.
The way you have shaped up and reached till now it's that. Who you were till 1st March 2025 till 10:30 a.m. And after that, we are starting to have this conversation. Can you undo whatever was there? What can you do?
Retell the story.
Restart.
Change. Retell the story.
And live in present, and you can change the story and you can create a new future. That's in your hands. What is the impact it can have on your life? Imagine as if you've already understood that, okay, that was the story. My upbringing was not good. My sibling was given more attention. I was not loved as much as my brother or sister was loved. I was told a no. My brother got to do things, but I did not get to do things. My uncle was good, but my father was not as nice as my uncle. These are all relatable things. And like that, a lot of stories unconsciously we have built up for which there is no logical explanation. But in this moment, you get that that is not the reality. It may be a reality, but it's not the reality. And that shaped up your life the way it is shaped up. It's taken away your childlikeness, your self-expression. It stopped you from actually being who you are. And you ended up being someone on the basis of the judgment that people have passed about you. Yes or no? Yeah? 1.5 people said yes. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah, so we want to rewrite our own story. Up till now, what's happened? We have been the author of that, our life. Can we hear that, Diana? We are the author of our lives, man. The way we've written the drama queens and the saga queens or kings. And we have an opportunity to write our life afresh. We learn from our experiences, what we've gone through, and we create a new formula for our own self. This process enables you to write your own story. Now imagine in this moment as if you're done with relating to yourself from what you were from the past. And in this moment, you are as if you're writing your new story. How does your present and the future look like? Both professionally and personally. And forget about everything else for your own self. How does it look like? Is it so difficult to imagine? If you're free from the shackles of the past, how does your life look like? And then what can you do in a blank canvas? Where is the suffering? I would have done it, but people were not supporting me. In acumen, no, I can do a lot of things. The problem is no. The problem is not anything else. The problem is JT. हम तो सब सही करना चाहते हैं, वही बीच में आते हैं. These are the stories that we come. I'm involving him. वो बाहर बैठे ना इसीलिए. Okay, but those stories, if we leave it, whatever we need to convey or communicate, we can do that in a responsible manner. Stand to take consequences of whatever the outcome is. Okay? Take consequences. By the way, consequences are an outcome, whether you like it or you don't like it. Even if you don't take it, it's there. And to the extent you don't take it, your life gets impacted. Yes or no? Yeah.
And where you started anger and all of that comes from that you have consequences. You are thinking about some consequences. You don't get that.
Yeah.
And hence you get angry, disappointed, and that.
Yeah, you don't want to take responsibility of the consequences. And you get angry. Like Samir will come and tell me, Vimish, इस तरह से करना चाहिए कि ऐसा क्यों किया? तेरे को बोला था, अरे मेरे को बोला था उससे क्या होता है? तूने क्या किया? Backlash. Immediate. Why? Because we got threatened. Rather than just saying, okay, chill, let's resolve it. Okay, there's a blunder that's created. Can you support me so that we can complete this? Having a futuristic approach about it. When can that happen? When you have trust in your own self. When you settle with your own self. Your battle with your own self doesn't allow that real side to show up. And then you keep on defending, proving to people, actually I'm not as bad as you think me to be, okay? Yeah, I'm not so competent, but not as bad. Look at what your competency is now. Relatable?
What can you do it from here?
Yeah.
If things
Yeah.
go wrong, what can we
Yeah,
do?
what next?
Yeah.
Being futuristic. Correct? Yeah, you had a question and you had a
I had
question.
a question. So you said about the story what we are carrying and we get that story to reality. But I'm saying, what about if there are some incident which would be real?
All of them are real.
No. So like suppose like I'm saying my father didn't love me, for example.
Ah,
So few cases there will be a story. And few cases that can be reality only. So how would you operate and how would you come to a conclusion that it's a story or reality?
so that's what the work is about. So we can have a conversation about that. Right now I'm just creating a gist of what it is.
And one more thing, when you said like example what you gave that somebody came and said ये क्या किया तूने ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए. So my approach was like whatever is the approach तूने क्या किया. But the second approach when I say okay let's come and sort it out. But still the सामने वाला approach will be the same only.
Correct.
चलवाक नहीं करना चाहिए.
Correct. But over a period of time, it's transformative and transformation takes time. Like it is not a switch on and a switch off. It is not like that. It is something that will be processed, experienced over a period of time. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Check the recording.
है ना? मेहनत नहीं तो waste जाएगी. Right?
Check
Which is
my
so-
यहाँ पे चालू है.
That's right.
Uh,
I was trying to be so good. Yeah.
Coming from the same space that he asked the question, I'm just continuing it. I'm expected him to behave a particular way. The story part that he's talking about. And I'm not changing. He's changing, but I'm not changing. But again, the same story remains, no, that he's expecting some consequences. He's not taking the responsibility of those consequences.
So that is something that we
अभी
orient.
मैंने इतना किया तो अभी तूने change होना है, is my expectation.
Yeah. So see, the whole idea is that when we start having expectations, we want immediate results. We don't have the patience. We don't have that consideration that just because we have been willing to change, that means the other should immediately change. It's a process. It is something that has been a part of your life since so many years. Like all of you are 20, 25, right? You
Not a day more.
Okay. So you write with the right hand. Okay. Example, you're writing with your right hand. अभी ये हाथ किसी कारण से अभी काम नहीं कर रहा है. Okay. It's in a cast. You start writing with your left hand. पहले दिन पे कैसा आएगा writing? थोड़ा AC को modulate करना रहेगा ना. ताकि everyone's feeling a bit cold. हाँ? पहले दिन कैसा आएगा writing? It will come like aloo, right? You try to write an O also, it will come like that. After a week, After a week,
Slide better.
Yeah.
okay. After 15 days, even better. After 1 month, doctor says, congratulations, your cast is off now. You can write with your hand. You're no longer crippled with wanting to write. What will you tell a doctor? अब कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता अभी I can write it effectively even with my left hand. Each practice, consistent practice. Your hand was dormant for so many years, you never used it. You start using it. So this is a process which happens over a period of time. Patience, the consistency, and creating a culture. Whether it is family or it's an organization. There is a culture that you create. This is one thing missing, especially in the corporates and organizations, that we don't have culture. They're not playing, all playing an individual game. They're not collectively coming. That's why cross-function challenges. It's not like a Lagan approach, if you know what I say. Lagan movie, if you've seen, you're there with each other. Like imagine a cricket team, a world-class cricket team, everyone doing their own bit. Do you think they'll be able to win? No. So where the approach changes because there is a culture which is there, inside of which everyone are speaking in a certain language. One of the tools, distinctions, what we say, as I call it simplistically, I call it tools, that I work on in corporates is on feedbacks. Having a powerful relationship with feedbacks. Usually what happens in feedbacks? People vomit. Opportunity मिला ना, होप दो. जितनी बड़ा से निकाल लो. Correct? And also how what I coach them in is how to give feedbacks. As second is, I coach them in how to take feedbacks. Right? So the context is set, the culture is made, inside of which every action, everything that is spoken, and everything that is thought is coming from a space to be futuristic. Even when it comes to addressing some kind of a breakdown, it is coming to address a concern and not as a personal attack or an allegation. It's not like, Dinah, you are clumsy, you didn't do this well. Like, the way you did it didn't work. In the first one, I'm allegating you. It's a direct attack. In the second one, I'm addressing the issue. Dinah, can you take care of this? Because the way you did it, it did not work. Then there is no need to safeguard yourself. And then there is openness where you are to receive what I'm giving you. So we create that culture in organizations where the languages that are spoken in the work that is done is all coming from one frequency. Right? Yeah.
So, this is my understanding of the sessions we've had and the current one. I just want to sum it up and say that as individuals, we all have our experience, our life experiences that shape us into the individual we are, and that we bring to the table in our organizations as well, which leads to the type of business impact that organization gets from the resources, right? That is one part, and how this coaching is premium and it is for a set of leaders, and there are some challenges that they face. Something that I noticed when I had come for the session, and you were in a session with Shweta from Hifley, and the kind of response that the kind of feedback that boss was taking from her, and how she was overwhelmed is the correct word for me to say. The kind of questions, and you mentioned somewhere that something has changed, and even boss mentioned something else. So I wanted to understand from that point of view how this coaching and what changed in her. If you can share something,
What change?
what changed, how the coaching helped her journey
Yeah.
as a leader there in her organization to be better at what she does there.
So where the process goes now is first, when someone is planning to come on board
Hmm.
for the coaching, I gave them a questionnaire which speaks about their strengths, their challenges, what is it that they are looking for from the coaching, any other conversation that they have, everything. So that gives me a sense of knowing who they are and what they want. Okay, then I get into the finer bit, which is unsaid, reading between the lines. I get into that, and then I start the conversations with them. I don't have answers. I cannot have answers because I have not lived your life.
Right.
Your challenges are very real for you, no matter how much it might not be significant for me or I can't relate to it. It doesn't matter because for you, it's real. All that I have is asking questions and bringing forth these tools, all these tools inside of which those concerns are mirrored. You get to see that, okay, they are not the ultimate reality. They are perspectives. There are experiences which have been given significance. And if that is one world, there is another world as well, which is unseen. Okay, all the information that we have is divided into 3 parts. Okay. Consider this as a circle. Okay, you've got all the knowledge of the world. Okay, how much do you think you have? How much knowledge you have as compared to what's there in the world?
Very minute.
Okay,
Microns.
correct?
Yeah.
Right? Isaac Newton said, even if you say 1/millionth of this, no, then also it's arrogance. Okay, so let's look at, for an example, let's look at the first 5. What are the things that you know? What are the things that you know? Like you know how to be quiet, right? When asked questions, look at each other's faces.
Perfectly.
Perfect.
Correct? Correct? Yeah. Yeah, I've told her already. Okay. You know, is that
That's how it is. She bought it very late, so a long time.
okay?
Long time in case.
Mohsen, once you're done, I'll continue.
No, sir, he is going there, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Just hold on to your tea breaks, huh? We'll finish at 12.
Hold
Can I
on.
continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So things that you know, correct? What are the things that you know?
I know to get up, I know to brush my teeth, I know to have bath.
Okay, you know how to speak in English. You know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
Correct? You know your job also, up to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are the things that you know, that you know them. Correct? There's a bigger pie which says the things that you don't know.
Circle here.
What are the things that you don't know? Huh? Coding. You don't know coding. Okay. What else you don't know?
What people think about that?
People, what people think about you, you don't know. Right?
Ontology, we don't know.
Huh?
Ontology, we don't know.
Ontology. At this moment, you don't know. Okay.
What
You
is
don't know?
coaching
I
on
don't know how
that?
to skydive alone.
You don't know how to skydive
Alone.
alone. Okay. So these things that you don't know, but you know that you don't know. You know that you don't know them, right? What we do in life is that we keep on increasing the learnings. Like if you don't know about ontology, we will sit and we will speak about it, and one fine day you'll know. You don't know how to fly a plane, and you'll go to take some hours of
Classes.
or some
Yeah.
skydiving on your own or whatever you do, and you learn that, right? What we do in life is whatever we don't know, we learn it and we know, or we don't know, and we are okay with it. Like he doesn't know coding, or बोलते हैं कोई नहीं आती, मुझे फर्क भी नहीं पड़ता,
मुझे
मुझे करना भी नहीं है,
मुझे पेड़ उड़ाना नहीं आता, मुझे उड़ाना
नहीं आता, मुझे उड़ाना भी नहीं है, ना?
क्यों कहते हैं कि जान
Correct,
उड़ा दो।
correct, correct. So that is what you do, and this is basically a life of survival. And humans are great survivors. Correct?
Life of survival is so
Knowing the things that मतलब जितना जरूर है इतना सीख लेते हैं ना. Correct? Here is the third area about the things that we don't know and we don't know. Can you give me an example of the things that you don't know and you don't even know that you don't know? Come on.
Don't know.
Wait, we're getting an intelligent answer. Wait, we're getting it. Hold. I'm here to learn this. Tell me.
मैंने बोला
नहीं बोल रहे यार. What is it that you don't know and you don't even know that you don't know? क्या चीज तूने नहीं पता तुझे पता भी नहीं कि तुझे नहीं
So,
पता.
sir, this can be about the
तू सिर्फ मैं सवाल का जवाब दे.
so मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. So
हाँ.
this can be people what they think about me.
मुझे सिर्फ सवाल का जवाब.
मैं वही जवाब दे रहा हूँ. मैं वही जवाब दे रहा हूँ. कि what I think I am,
हाँ.
which I know,
हाँ.
but I don't know what exactly I am.
पर तुझे पता है कि तुम तेरे को नहीं पता.
हाँ मुझे पता है मुझे.
मैं पूछूं कि तो क्या चीज नहीं पता तुझे पता भी नहीं कि तुझे नहीं पता.
नहीं बोल सकते रिवर्स.
You don't know what it is.
अरे बाप रे,
हाँ.
don't look at
It's
the
absurd,
answer.
right? It's weird.
Yeah.
It's abstract.
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ.
जो पता ही नहीं और पता भी नहीं कि वो पता नहीं वो कैसे पता हो सकती है. Exactly.
But still human being want to answer that question.
Exactly. Because there are more things in the world. Okay.
But then you can't use the word human being there.
So there are three categories on a writer node. Male, female, male. Okay. So here is something that we call as our blind spots. Okay. Like when did you get that black stain on your shirt, t-shirt?
I don't know.
How can you tell me? पीछे है तेरा.
Sure.
You're sure. Now what is this?
What
What is this? Arrogance.
I don't like that.
नहीं वो नहीं है. तो है ना इधर लगा इधर. Okay. Now this was as an example. वो निकल जाएगा. नहीं तो दूसरा टी-शर्ट दे देगा. छोड़
मिल
दे.
जाएगा नहीं.
Okay. तू भी डांटेगी.
मामा
हाँ हाँ.
नहीं आज उसकी
So-
डेट है बॉस.
चलो,
He's
चलो.
quiet.
एक काम करे उधर लगा.
Match.
So if we got, if we're walking on the road and we've got crow shit on our back, can we see that?
No.
If someone shows up, what will you tell them?
जरा देखना.
Thank you.
साफ कर दो भाई.
वो पंजाबी लोग बोलेंगे, वो दिख रहा है तो साफ कर दे, है ना? But if someone points out something that is there, what will you tell them? If they point out something
कहाँ है?
that you can't see, you tell them. And because they help you point it out, what will you tell them?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what you tell them ना, कि अगर कोई आपको दाग दिखा दे, है ना? और एक एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ. मोहसिन यहाँ से बाहर निकला और डेट के लिए जा रहा है. बहुत एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है पर फिर भी इमेजिन करो. ठीक है ना?
ये रियलिटी ये परसेप्शन है.
ठीक है ना? और उसकी जिप की फ्लाई ओपन है.
ये रियलिटी.
Okay. And if someone points out something, so he will say thank you that you pointed out. इसलिए मैं जवाब दे रहा हूँ. But what we do when people point out our blind spots, we can't see. What we tell them?
Thank you.
We don't tell them that.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
What we say? तू कौन है मुझे बोलने वाला?
अपना देख ले.
Who are you? हाँ, अपना देख लेना. You are looking at my blind spots.
First you walk.
तेरा
First you.
तेरा तो आगे है.
हाँ तेरा तो आगे तेरे को तो आगे भी नहीं दिख रहा है. Yeah. Okay. We are talking. We are creating jokes about it. But can you get the crux?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are blind spots that all of us have that we don't know, and we don't even know that we don't know, and we end up being the kind of people that we are. So it's not we being like that. That being is actually holding us, captivating us, limiting us.
But there are people, sir, who like suppose if there is no shit also they will say there is a shit and you start searching for the shit and
I'll have a
it's there.
separate session with you. Okay. So here in this process, we identify those blind spots because that's where our potential lies. That's where our growth lies.
Yeah.
This is somewhere where we were when we were children. But when we were growing up, we were told, सीधी बैठ, तू लड़की है, तू ऐसे नहीं बैठ सकती. You're not supposed to behave like that. And you start losing your innocence and say, oh, is it wrong? As we keep on growing, there are more and more incidents evidences that we gave,
Hmm.
and we start and becoming more and more constricted, more and more into our survival. What should I do? Should I speak? Should I not speak? What if I speak like this? What if I do like that? And there are so many conversations that we battle within our own self before we stand up and take an action. Can you relate to this? Yeah. What happens in this coaching process now, answering what you asked, Smith, how it goes about it, the blind spots are identified, like how you were sitting over there with me the other day and we identified certain patterns. And suddenly, when that leaves from here, it comes in the domain of things that you know. And slowly, the survival starts diminishing. And you get to move on to creating a life that you want for yourself. Of course, being socially responsible, because we all live in a society, but not following the herd mentality. Like actually standing up for yourself, creating your niche, knowing what your potential is, what your USP is. Allowing to manage relationships in an impactful way, effective way. Especially when we are into relationships, personal relationships. Getting out of that firefighting or that damage control or out of that blame game. Like actually liberating yourself. So whether it is like it's the same person who's going to work and that same person who's a family person as well. Replacing your preset beliefs with compassion, with compassion, with empathy, with understanding. Three things I'll ask you. Do people always speak the language that you want to hear?
No.
Do people always behave the way you want them to behave?
No.
Do things in life always happen the way you want them to happen?
No.
That's life. And powerful and effective life is how you master the skill to maneuver and move with ease and grace. That's Unbound coaching. Questions? Are you all getting contributed by these conversations?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why Unbound?
Nice.
Yes.
You are not noted by.
Because earlier you're bound. I, as a child, was spanked by my father, and I developed the fear and got onto stuttering that I couldn't speak in front of 4 people. I was bound. When this word came to me, is when I got the default shackles that actually created my limited persona. And I got that this was all coming out of some conversations which I've given significance to, labeled my father in a certain way. And when I set all those conversations free, I was unbound. So unravel, unleash, unbound. All the knots that are self-created, out of all the significances that I have given, out of all the isness. He is like that, she is like that, mummy is like that, papa is like that, my brother or sister is like that. Even for that matter, whatever your upbringing is like that. My family, society, norms, whatever, that is like that. Everything which captivates you, you suddenly get in the presence of being the face of it and say, okay, this is what it is. Now let me figure out. That's why I'm bound. Got it? Next. Question.
What's the line in between this coaching and it becoming like, since you're going into very deep parts of the person, what's the line between it just becoming a therapy session and
It is therapeutic.
But then there has to be some sort of bringing it back to work and making it centered around how you can promote to
It
the
is.
like benefit
It is.
organization.
It is.
So what?
It is therapeutic by nature. There is a lot of hand holding in this. And more than that, no, whatever issues are addressed, the approaches are going to be addressed in a way that those concerns will be related. And side by side, see, when you're working on a way of being, now we are speaking since 1 hour, 15 minutes about. Do you think yourself that now the person who's going to walk out of this cabin is going to be different? With certain things that you got for yourself? Can you say that? Things that you were oblivious to earlier, but now you have them. And that is the person who's going to walk back home and you're going to see things in a different light, even with your family members. Yeah. But at the same time, when it comes to organizations, when there are issues, say there is an issue with regards to taking feedbacks, okay, or addressing breakdowns, or resolving conflicts. The coaching process doesn't speak about the doing of it, Diana. The approach that I have is that, okay, what kind of a person are you who's dealing with this at the moment? Then taking on to the blinder side of it, and then showing that approach and then saying, okay, now how do you see this? And before they come on the next session, there is an assignment that is given that with this new way of being, how are you going to approach this? How is it going to create a new reality in your organization? I want you to come up in the next session and share with me. So there is a reality check that is taken on that. And by side, I ask, okay, if you can do it here. Like you're Diana, right? Where are you, Diana? Where are you, Diana? At work? At home? Where on? Everywhere.
The same time.
The same time. Your way of being in one aspect is something that you will carry everywhere. And it's going to impact, and it's going to be an upward spiral there. So not only it addresses one issue, along with that, we reflect onto the other issues that they have written in the questionnaire. I say with this new perspective, this way of being, now look at these. How do they look like? So many things I don't need to even address after that. They find 10 out of 10 times, Diana. By the fourth session, third, fourth session, no, they start feeling stupid about what they've written. Because that is written in a very vulnerable state. But with this awareness, they get to see the other side and think, shit, man, this is what I wrote. This is the way I think. This is the way I operate. Getting it? Yeah.
So if you could just name drop all the distinctions that we have in this, and is
There
it
are 120 of them.
you're focusing on them?
Yeah, we can, but we will do that.
So is it necessary that you will use all the 10 distinctions in the presentation?
Depends. See, there is a toolkit. There's a toolkit lying in front of you. अभी तू पाना यूज करेगा एक ही पाना सबके लिए थोड़ी ना यूज करेगा.
We'll use different distinctions for different people
Exactly,
depending
ना.
upon the need.
Depending on the need, वो पाना भी होगा तो उसको adjust करेगा. छोटे नट के लिए छोटा करेगा, बड़े के लिए बड़ा करेगा. Whatever is required, the tools are given. So this is going to enable them to leave them with the tools. After that, वो लोग ये नहीं बोल सकते कि मुझे लाइफ का क्या करना. After that, the issue is going to be, okay, you are the one who's not walking up there and fixing the tool. Like, अभी एसी चालू है, अभी ये सामने रिमोट पड़ा हुआ है, अभी सूजल उसको देखेगा बोलेगा स्लो हो जा, तो नहीं होगा.
So what are some of the distinctions or tools that you have to use frequently and which is very prevalent in most of the leaders?
Okay, so correction is that over a period of time with mastery, practice and mastery, you don't use distinctions, the distinctions use you. It becomes your automatic way of being. मतलब वो
You live the distinctions.
you live that.
So, Vimish, again, can I?
Yeah,
speak here? Maybe he's coming from a space of, if you're talking to the client, is there one of the distinctions when we're talking about it, can we speak about it? And if that is there, can you equip us in a conversation? तो क्या होता है coaching में? तो ये use
वो तो मैंने ये हम लोग ने already discuss किया हुआ. So
So
we are
maybe
we
in a coaching conversation. I mean, selling coaching. What
already
conversation
कर
can
दिए.
we use?
We have already made.
Because that's the
Jayesh and
space he's
Smith.
asking
No,
for.
we've already done that work. This was just to orient everyone on what this process is about. वो 10 distinction मैंने JT ने और Smith ने बैठ के already decide कर दिया, and that is to be given to all of you. वो आपको दे ही देंगे एक बार उसका whatever we make no the presentation उसके अंदर वो डाल देंगे. In your own way, you articulate it. So इसको अभी कैसे showcase करना है आपको? Looking at the need, how is it that you can put across is something that you want to do. Correct? Yeah.
So Vimish, as a coaching product, you are offering a client. Okay. So like, who decides? Okay, in my organization, this person requires a coaching, and as a coachee, who tells me that you require a coaching and how much I should be ready for that? Do I believe that I need a coaching? How do you handle that?
If you're ready.
Like few people in the organization which everybody believes कि यार इसको coaching की जरूरत है. Okay, and few people don't know. Okay, and then that person has to believe कि उसको coaching का जरूरत है.
Yeah. So
How do you sell that? मतलब मैं वो
so this doesn't have to be sold. Number one, इसको बेचना नहीं है. You don't have to sell. You have to showcase.
Yeah.
You have to allow people to come and buy. Because this is not something that you can sell. What is the reason I wanted to have this orientation and would like to work with you also? So that you get a sense of
What
an
impact it can-
experience.
And what impact it can.
See, once you experience something, no, it will be easier for you to showcase that or to tell people that. Like you go to a restaurant. You know about a restaurant and you're trying the food at that restaurant. फर्क है ना? So this coaching process, I would want the relevant people to actually have a taste of what it looks like. Sit with me one-on-one. So that when you're talking to people and people ask, क्या कर रहे हैं? What is the impact that this can create? So this is not like a fixing approach. This is more of a growth approach. This is not to tell them that you're incapable, you're not good enough. This is to enhance how this coaching process is going to elevate you as a professional and as a person overall. That is the opportunity. Right? So you got to put across it that it's like, आपको coaching की जरूरत है. Means सामने वाला back foot पे जाएगा ही जाएगा. नहीं. I invite you to consider this so that whatever potential you have that can be tapped and you can take your performance and the outcome onto a new level. That's an invitation of growth, not of maintenance. और ये this is premium, like, okay, everyone who gets ready for coaching, I don't guarantee that I'll take everyone. Because this is hardcore. सामने वाले की तैयारी होनी चाहिए to allow that process to happen. So there are times that after 2 or 3 sessions, I've turned them down also. And I've refunded the money also because I can't coach you.
So is that when someone is just very resistant to it and they're just not willing to see that?
Yeah, there are people who are righteous, who are closed, who want to so harm, but yeah, they're not making themselves available to be worked upon. They want to just work on everything or like, okay, तो फिर इनको सुधरना चाहिए या ऐसा होना चाहिए. They're not willing to go through the process for their own self.
The famous line is, I don't need the coaching, my boss needs the coaching.
Or not want to do the hard work, that's it. Yeah, because this is all feel good. मैं बैठा हूँ,
Yeah,
I understand, I want to do that, but if I'm not doing it, nothing's gonna change.
See, life is hard anyways. With all the sufferings that are there. With all the firefighting and the kind of conflicts and the challenges that you face. This is about choosing your heart. ठीक है मौसम?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any questions? Anything more?
So I got an understanding of how we are different from an ICF certified coach and how we could position that. But in case any of you guys have any inkling of doubt or questions regarding that, you may ask. I think whatever you said, sir, I have gathered how it is.
Yeah. So yeah, this is not certified coaching or something. This is more experiential. I've gone through my own challenges in my own life. been open enough, candid enough to look at my own shortfalls. Like I've been my own coach. I've got more than 35,000 to 40,000 hours of work that I've done. For a few years, I just took a sabbatical and I just worked inwardly only on my own self. And I'm candid enough to tell where I've screwed up and messed up in my life. So this coaching is not about any gyan. It's all about life experiences. Okay. There are bodies in which there are formats that they would give, like how ICF is there. It's more structured, but it will give you the tool. But how to use the tool, they will not. Okay, do it. Now you do it, but how? Every one of us have our own nature, our own challenges. Like I said, okay, it will say, okay, anger, okay, they'll give you an access also about it, but how to put it into practice? That is something, this is what I've tailored and created in this coaching program on my own self. So worked upon, been the guinea, got the results for myself, continuously getting, even today, I am yet in the student mode, but I'm constantly seeking and learning. And that's how I can put it out. सर आप कुछ नहीं पूछ रहे हो? ठीक कर रहा हूँ मैं. Anything else, Shweta?
That was one of the most important things that I asked in terms of how we are more, value added, more value addition, how we can bring to the customers. Because I see clear impact being created by the work that we do.
Got it.
So that's something that I was before we started the session. So I can also talk to my team members in terms of, when there is a need like that, one, how to sniff that need, other is how to position.
Yeah.
Where and what space we come from. So, and I will teach them how to do.
Any questions at any point of time, need more clarifications or something,
Yeah.
please feel free to reach out. Sir, anything else?
No, sir. What do you say?
Okay, so last thing, I would want to leave you with some value. Can I do that?
Yeah, please.
Sir, do you think you got directly enough?
Take one more thing. Kadaka. So, all of us have a purpose of our life. What is the purpose of your life? ऐसे ही हो गया तो 35 कर.
खुश कर दो.
Okay.
खुश कर
What is
दो.
the purpose of your life? Don't know.
It's not defined, but I just, whatever I do, I want to be content with what I'm doing.
Okay, the outcome is that you want to be.
Yeah.
Correct?
Purpose.
Purpose you don't know.
Hard thing to articulate.
Yeah.
To
This is what intellectuals do. Yeah, it's hard to articulate, but it's there. Yeah, I just can't get the words to it. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Very close, okay? As children, we all used to play games. Right? We used to play games to have.
Fun.
We were born without our permission. Okay?
Fine. Yeah.
Unless and until any of us was an accident. Say you were a planned baby. What was the purpose that your parents had?
Fun.
No, they had fun, I'm sure. But what was their purpose?
To have, copies of theirs or just to fulfill some.
Okay. Two, they get married and then they
Naturally,
Huh?
Have a family.
to have a family, to
Yeah.
cherish parenting, parenthood.
Correct.
Yeah, that was their purpose. They didn't know what kind of product is going to come, but you are here. Right? Their purpose was that they wanted to cherish parenthood and they wanted to take their legacy forward or whatever.
Legacy.
Yeah, correct. That was their purpose. And now that you're here, I want you to look at the disgust of the quality of life that you're living right now. To the extent you are captivated by certain conversations that you have for yourself and you're not having fun. When the purpose of life is itself to have fun, why not bring forth in every aspect of your life?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like you, why do you work? Why do you work? Why do you come to work? Why do you work? Huh?
Because I like what I do.
You like what you do, right? And why do you work?
To fulfill day-to-day needs and like.
Correct? To make a living.
To live like happily and enjoy.
To make a living, na? Career banana, na? Correct? So you do that to create make a living or create a career, earn some money. Let that be an outcome.
Yeah.
And the process is to have fun. The purpose is to have fun. You're not here to get significant about how you get to be okay.
When you have fun, everything else follows.
Everything else, like dealing with conflicts is also, like imagine as if this culture in this organization is that everyone is having fun. There are no personal attacks, there are no conversations that you're having about labeling each other with something. You're dealing with issues as issues, you're being of support to each other. How would that environment look like? And those people going out to serve customers, clients, when you're having that call, that energy, that vibe that you
It
carry,
rubs off. Yeah.
it will be experienced. And that, with that fulfillment, satisfaction, you go back home. With that energy, you go back home. How will that environment at home look like? I didn't say house, home. It will actually look like a home now.
Yeah.
Like before we complete this, I would like to share something out of my personal life. On 5th of August, Mom passed away. Me and Mom were very close. We are yet very close. And लोगों ने पूछा शोक सभा कब है? ऐसे शोक सभा नहीं है क्योंकि शोक ही नहीं. We're not grieving that loss. We are celebrating a life. And that same evening, like 5th night, 6th morning, and 8th morning, we completed the rites, and then 8th evening we got 50 people in the house having a party, making all the stuff that she used to like. And said, "Look, Mom in physicality is not here, but she's here, and we are celebrating her life because the purpose was to have fun." And to leave her, that's a world that we don't know. But the beliefs that we have come from, that the souls are there around, said, okay, whatever she's doing, wherever she is happy looking at all of us not grieving. Was it easy? No. But we made it happen. Why? Because we stuck to our purpose, me and my dad both. So can we take this up from today? To have fun? Yeah?
Yes.
Participate in our own life from that space. बेचने का लोगों ने खरीदा तो खरीदा नहीं खरीदा तो क्या फर्क पड़ गया? We're having fun in that.
मेरा problem.
तो ऐसे भी ऐसे ही है. All right, guys. I guess that's what completes everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Super. So we'll call it.
And I think so.